Welcome to Debbie's Storytelling TV, a home of faith-based stories, real-life stories, and African folk tales. Today, we are sharing a story on the title, She Chose Purity in a World That Mocked Her Faith. In a world where values change daily, where compromise is celebrated and faith is often mocked, one young woman made a decision that would define her destiny. She chose purity, not because it was easy, but because she loved God more than approval. This is the story of a believer who stood firm when the world laughed and heaven watched. Deborah was a young woman with a gentle spirit and a strong faith. She lived in a city where modern culture shaped daily life. Music, movies, and conversations often promoted values far from what she believed. At school and work, her friends talked openly about relationships. They laughed at the idea of waiting. They mocked the concept of sexual purity. To them, faith was old-fashioned, self-control was weakness, and obedience to God was unnecessary. But Deborah had been raised on the Word of God. She knew the Scriptures. She understood that her body was a temple, and she believed that honoring God with her life mattered. One day, during a casual conversation, her friends questioned her choices. "Why are you so different? Why are you always saying no? Doesn't everyone do this now?" Some laughed. Others shook their heads. They called her too serious. They said she was missing out. But Deborah remained calm. She did not argue. She did not judge them. She simply said, "My faith is important to me, and I choose to honor God." Her words were simple, but her conviction was strong. What many people didn't see was the quiet battle Deborah fought within. Temptation did not disappear because she believed. She faced loneliness. She felt misunderstood. At times, she wondered if standing firm was worth it. But in her private moments, she prayed. She opened her Bible. She reminded herself of God's promises. She knew purity was not about perfection. It was about obedience. It was about choosing God daily. Whenever the pressure grew heavy, Deborah turned to God. She remembered that faith often requires sacrifice, that doing what is right does not always bring applause. She surrounded herself with believers. She listened to sermons that strengthened her spirit. She filled her mind with truth. Slowly, something changed. The same people who mocked her began to respect her boundaries. Her quiet strength spoke louder than arguments. In time, Deborah noticed something beautiful. She had peace. While others carried emotional wounds, she had clarity. While others struggled with regret, she walked in freedom. God began opening doors for her life. New opportunities came. Healthy friendships formed. She realized that obedience to God always brings reward. Not always immediately, but always faithfully. One day, Deborah met someone different. Someone who respected her faith. Someone who admired her values. Someone who understood that love grows best with patience and honor. For the first time, she realized that waiting had not cost her anything. It had protected her. God had been preparing her heart for something greater than she imagined. Deborah's life became a testimony, not through loud speeches, but through quiet consistency. She proved that purity is still possible, that faith still matters, and that obedience to God is never in vain. Her story reminds us that when the world mocks your faith, heaven celebrates your obedience. If you are watching this today and you feel pressured, misunderstood, or mocked because of your faith, remember this: God sees you. God honors obedience, and purity is still powerful. Stand firm, choose faith, and trust God with your journey.
Please watch, like, subscribe, and share for more interesting stories. God bless you.